Hi everybody, Martin Root with Project Heaven on Earth, and today's Heaven Maker is Justin Criner, a police officer, but because he's not speaking on behalf of his police force, he's out of uniform, and we're not going to tell you what police force he is, but it's a local police force somewhere in the U.S. Welcome, Justin.
Thank you, Martin. Happy to be here.
Thank you. Justin, how did being a Heaven Maker start for you?
Well, Martin, you and I were eating together, and we started talking about heaven on earth, and you asked me a simple question about what heaven on earth would be to me, and I took that as what heaven on earth would be to a police officer, and to me that was the end of crime and people serving each other.
And Justin, I remember that so vividly because I remember the question just coming into my mind out of nowhere. I hadn't thought about it previously, and you answered like in a fraction of a second, the end of crime and people serving each other. And then you went farther than that, and what did you do next?
Well, so I came back home, and as I was thinking about what we had talked about, I was inspired, and I put together a manual to help other people be able to look at their profession and tailor it to figure out what heaven on earth would be for them.
And so I think you have a copy. I know you have a copy.
Yes, I have a copy.
So just hold that up, Discovering Heaven on Earth for Law Enforcement. And can you just take us through it? And folks, will put the website up at the end of the video so you can get a copy yourself. But take us through it, if you would. What's in it?
Absolutely. So the first part of the manual goes along kind of what Martin talks to people about, and that's how to, how heaven on earth can actually be applied in your life, how you can see it, how you can recognize what it is. And, Martin talks a lot about not making things complicated. So that's what the manual does, is it says very simply, if you could make heaven on earth, how would you do it? If it was simple, how would you do it? And so that's how the manual starts out. And it goes into what I thought about when Martin and I first started talking about heaven on earth. And it talks about what it would take to change the world. And there's a chart in here. I don't know if you can see it in the video, but there's a chart about how fast things grow if two people talk about it, and if it just doubles every day. So, and then the manual goes into some quotes and some things you can do, and then it goes specifically to questions that you can ask yourself to help you. Like, for instance, one of the questions is, when was the time you experienced heaven on earth as a law enforcement officer? And of course, someone in a different profession could just change that to, when was the time you experienced heaven on earth as a school teacher or as whatever it is that you do.
Right. And
so there's several questions throughout the manual that'll help take a person to a place where they can discover what heaven on earth would be for them.
And do something about it, hopefully.
That's correct. Right.
Anything else in the manual?
Well, at the end of the manual, it kind of talks a little bit about, what discovering your life's purpose, and a little bit about Martin Root. But that's the gist of it. It's short. It's about 16 pages.
Wonderful, Justin. Really, I was just knocked out, A, by your answer about what heaven on earth was for law enforcement, and B, the fact that you did this manual and just whipped it together. And so tell me, where's the manual now, and what's the state of affairs here?
So the manual, you can get it. I put it up. Anybody can use it. Anybody can have it. If you want to take it and cut it and paste it and make it your own and make it in your own profession, you can do that, and you can find it on my website.
We're going to put that up right now so people can see that. You don't have to say it because we got a shorty on your website.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, folks, what I think is really interesting about this is it was the first time that I can remember talking about heaven on earth for your profession. In this case, it's law enforcement, but whatever your profession is, management, school teacher, as Justin said, housewife, anything, you can apply this manual. And the manual is free, right? And
yes, absolutely free.
Go to the website, and you can get it. And now, can they also communicate with you after from the website?
If they would like to, if they feel like that would be helpful, then I'm happy to communicate with them as well.
Lovely. Justin, thanks so much for being a Heaven Maker, and thanks so much for doing this interview today.
Thank you, Martin.
Bye-bye.